What's good? It's your boy Fannon. What's going on? What's going on? Let's chop it up. Let's chop it up. All right. Yes, sir. Let's go up to the front of here, man. Hyphy, what's going on, man? Yeah, hit the Patreon, man. I had some kind of interesting one up there I did yesterday, man. I did an interesting one yesterday, man. It was about hold on a second. KQKC, I'm in the live stream. What's good? Y- y- Oh, that's what's up. All right, man. I'll get back. Thanks. Peace. What's going on, KQKC? That's my dude. All right. Everybody loves Raymond. What's going on, man? Michael James, 616. Tony Snowflakes, what's going on? What's going on, Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owens? Please subscribe to Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owens. Roderick Thompson, what's going on? Cursor, what's going on? Lowland Prophets, Harold Jones. General Squirrels, what's going? It do. Sadiq, Nassim the Dream, what's going on, man? Roger Thompson, yes, I think I got you, man. What's Gravy Davy, Ancestral Rage, what's going on, man? Harold Tatum, Ricky Williams, Robert Walker, what's going on? Jay Bird, what's going on? I always got it. I mean, I've been forgetting to give you my cursory gong, Jay Bird. What's going on, Jay? What's going on, Jay Bird? Fanon, Blue said you told him we can't talk any kind of way no more. Thanks for the info, bro. Yeah. You gotta be real careful about some of the stuff that you're saying. But you know, Nassim the Dream, man. It's some crazy shit going on, man. But if that's why I said I didn't hear his live stream. But if you got a wrench, go to watch the videos. I'd appreciate it, man. If you guys see anything sounding crazy in the live stream, like in not just a live stream, but in the videos, the actual videos on the page, delete crazy messages on there, man. If you see them, if anybody says anything sound funny, get rid of it. It ain't worth the comment, man. It ain't worth leaving it up there. Thomas Moore, salute. Moreland, salute. Hyphy, what's going on, man? Sean Snowden, Duke, B&B Boxing, what's going on, man? Yes, sir. District Gilead. I think I got to the bottom of the comment section real quick, man. That was quick. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised. Rope burns. What the hell? Oh, Lord. What it do, Mr. Tiptoe? What's going on, man? What are my thoughts on James DeGale retiring? Hey, good for him, man. I was a big James DeGale fan. Still am. What's going on, man? Raider time. Much love. I'm most sad that I won't be able to see his sister anymore. Hopefully his sister can get a job with the PBC or something, and I can watch her in some other way. That was what his sister was my favorite thing about James DeGale. What's going on, man? Lawrence RBE, what's going on? Gary Misho. Lauren Bibble, what's going on? James Harris, Antonio Mendoza, my man. Jamal Allen said, "Fanon, love the content. I'm new to the channel. Great content. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, man. That's always good to know. But let's chop it up, man. Don Zeby, what's going on, man? Real Talk 90, my man. What's good? What's good? By the way, man, I want to show you guys something. I wonder if you guys can see this screen. I'm gonna show you something on my screen, dog. Let me see if I can. Pretty sure I have a copy of this. I just want to show you guys something, man. I just want to show you my headache. My headache. Okay. Hold on. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. You want to see this? This is a headache, okay? Can you see this? Can you see? Man, dog, I don't know if you can see this or not. I don't think you can see it. Yeah, you can't see it, dude. You can't see it, but this is a what is this? It's just an 8-page agreement, dude. Just bloody red with cats trying to make changes. It's a big ass headache, man. La, dude's sister is fine. Everybody talk about old girl. Heck yeah, man. She ain't no joke. Okay, yeah. So let's get into this Tyson Fury thing, man. Let's chop it up. All right. My understanding is I saw something from the Boxing Voice where it said Eddie Hearn, $15 million for a tune-up and 60-40 split with Joshua. Come on, Deontay. Come to the zone. $15 million flat fee, $50 million, $15 million for a tune-up, and 60-40 on an Anthony Joshua fight. Right? When are you Deontay Wilder haters? If this is true, first of all, this is Eddie Hearn. So, where's my salt? I don't have any salt. I'll take it with a grain of salt because we're talking about Eddie. But when exactly y'all going to be tired of losing? It went from $5 million. What is it? $5 million for Dillian White to $7 million for Dillian White to $12.5 million flat for Anthony Joshua to $15 million for Anthony Joshua to $15 million for a tune-up. What's it going to be next? What's it going to be next month? What is it going to be next month, dog? It is going to be, I know Eddie be lying, dog. I know Eddie be lying, dog. I know he lies. Don't get me wrong. I know he lies. I'm not deluded about whether or not the cat is actually lying, man. I'm just telling you. Oh, then 50-50 for a rematch. If AJ loses, I don't get that part. Let me tell you, man. What I'm talking about on this is the fact that he has to keep offering more money. Yeah, why would you get 50-50 for a rematch? Why would you get 50-50 for a rematch? But I don't even care. What difference does it make? I'm just like, I'm looking at it more from the aspect of all these cats trying to claim that Deontay Wilder doesn't have any name recognition, all the terrible decisions Deontay Wilder's made, all of that type of stuff, dog. And I'm like, the longer we go, the more the price goes, the more his price goes up, the bigger the offers get. And I was just wondering, man, like, do you Anthony Joshua haters? And I call you not Anthony Joshua haters because, I'm known as the Anthony Joshua hater. That's what they call me, right? Even though I don't hate him, but I dang sure see him. I don't hate you, but I see you. I see you. Anyway, the cats that don't like Deontay Wilder, man, it's just real wild how these cats, man, there's something wrong with this chat today, man. There is definitely something wrong with this chat. Something going on with this chat. Because I'm seeing stuff. It's like there's no way that view count it's the same, and it just stays there. And I know that there should be around 200 people in, but it says 42 on my. It was saying 42 on my screen. YouTube's playing games, keeps signing me out of your chat room after I comment. Is this just happening to me? Yeah, I don't get what's going on, man, with this, man. They got some fun. It's just something going on, man. Just noticed my YouTube is tripping. Yeah, it's definitely something's going on with the stream right now. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it is what it is, dog. It is what it is. But we'll just keep on rolling with it. But anyway, man, I just wonder whether or not what's going on, Mark Wonderland? YouTube is signing me out of your chat. Yeah, you know what's funny? I gotta go let me look at something real quick because I think I might have a bug. I think I might have a bug in here. I'm gonna see if something is still there, and I'll go back to the chat real quick because I've noticed something has been real funny in my settings. Yeah, because it says there's just something going on with YouTube, dude. It's some funny. It's just I don't think it's probably not me personally. But okay, let me go to this. Give me 1 second and we'll be back. But anyway, man, these cats. All right, no, it's not there. So there's nobody there with that. All right, so at least that's not the problem. Yeah, a troll bug. Yeah, man, I don't know what's going on, man. Anyway, it is what it is, man. We keep rolling. Hey, if you see it, if you see it, if you don't see it, hey, man, you see, catch it on replay. Yeah, there's just probably something going on with him. But anyway, man, it's been happening since yesterday. Yeah, okay, Cal Enigma. Yeah, something's crazy, man. But they'll fix it. I think they're probably running like they're probably running a what do you call it? They're probably running like a fix or something to the system because they got all kind of craziness going on with why won't this sign me? All right, there you go. So sign me out and to sign me back in. Okay, now I'm actually signed in. Yeah, it is kicking me out. It kicked me out. What it do, KO? What it do? All right. So anyway, man, I just find that funny, man. Yeah, so some testing going on, man. They're probably implementing that new system to try to keep them creepy ass dudes from doing crazy stuff on YouTube. And listening to how that stuff's going down, man, I feel like, I feel a little better, man, because I know I ain't the only one going through it with these crazy people, man. Roy, what's going on, Zorro? Yo, on a side note, what do you think of Eubank Jr. versus Khalid Plant in 2019? I'm sure they sparred a bunch of times since they go to Mayweather Gym. I think that's good, man. I take Caleb Plant in that, man. I definitely take what's going on, man. I definitely take Caleb Plant, man. Kid YouTube channels are big business for YouTube. They taking a lot of heat lately. Yeah, absolutely, they are, man. Whole lot. But that's what I'm saying, man. Just so you know, man, for the cats in the LWC, cats that got them wrenches. I advise people to keep wrenches. More wrenches are good considering what's going on, because that way, if you see something in the comment section of a video that ain't right, get that shit up out of there. You know what I mean? And just send me an email and let me know that you took it out of there so I can see it and I need to respond to the guy. The guy to delete it, I can respond to the guy. It's YouTube. Some dude copies my comments verbatim and posts them on other channels. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, man. There's a lot of trolls, man. It's just a lot of trolls, but it is what it is, man. I ain't sweating that stuff. I want to talk about this fact that Deontay Wilder, like I said, Deontay Wilder about to get paid, man. Let me know if you guys got any questions. I really do believe that this dude, it's a beautiful time in this man's life, man. And there's just a lot of negativity around him because cats are really trying to make sure that they keep themselves ahead of where he is, man. This dude has literally had to work twice as hard to get where he is as these other dudes have. And it's a beautiful thing to see, even if Eddie Hearn lying, because you know what's going to happen. If Eddie Hearn's true, if Eddie Hearn's for real, then, somebody else is going to match it. They're not about to lose Deontay Wilder. Universal 34, Cyan, God of Destruction. What happened? There is Eddie Hearn said that they were going to make an offer for Deontay Wilder to for $15 million for a tune-up fight and a 60-40 split with Anthony Joshua and and a 50-50 on the rematch. Pretty much, other than the 50-50 on the rematch, it sounds good, It doesn't sound like something and it's not pay-per-view, so you really the tune-up isn't pay-per-view, but $15 million, if he could get $15 million for just a tune-up, hey dude, that's a lot of dough, man. That really is a lot of dough. If he's real about it, but it's Eddie, so you never know. Damn, Cash. What's going on, Cash G? Keep signing you out. Just watching another channel. Cash G, I'm sorry, man, that they keep kicking you out. YG Knight ain't got to hold you up on that wrench, dog, because somebody sent me a note, man. I know I've seen you before, man. Just somebody says something, man. I got to check that out. 60-40 of what is my question? Yeah, 60-40. If it's going to be a pay-per-view, then it's going to be a pay-per-view. But YG, come back a few more times. I've seen you a bunch of times, man. I'm just real hesitant on the wrench right now. And that ain't no insult to you, man. No insult at all. Haters are fueled by fear of the heavyweight king. Yeah, man, and the easy route, man. Patron Dimitri. What I don't understand is why American blacks attack other American blacks, such like Americans hated Wilder. Look, man, American blacks ain't hating on Wilder. American bootlickers are hating on Wilder for the hell of trying to make fun of cats, trying to ride the fence. That's some ride the fence dudes. Those are you got two type of guys, black dudes in America that make video. Three types. Oh shit! Hold on one second. My work computer about to go out on me because I didn't have it plugged up. In my opinion, there's three type of dudes, man. All right. Cats that are supporting Deontay Wilder, that support him because he's an American, because we're talking about hardcore fans. So there's guys that don't know anything about any of them, right? Because there's a lot of people that don't follow boxing. But of the boxing fans, you got a group of people that really support, a lot of black guys in America that really have it, hardcore boxing fans that really support him and want him to do well. Even if they think that his technique might not be the best or whatever, or they think somebody else is a good fighter as well, but they support him and they want to see the dude go well. Then you got these neutral, fake fence riding dudes. Those guys are just worthless to me. If you hear a guy that got to start a sentence with, I'm going to try to be unbiased, but I'm just going to tell you both sides of this. What are you worth to me? What is your opinion, dude? Well, I don't want this guy to call me a name, and I don't want that guy to call me a name, so I'm just going to walk down the fence and never actually say what you think. Give a definitive thought. I would rather have the guys that actually think that Anthony Joshua ain't ducking or whatever and's got a legitimate argument for than these guys that just want to ride the fence so they can try to keep, Mr. Hot and Mr. Cold. Just come up with what you think, dog. Because Mr. Hot and Mr. Cold is really just talking bad about this guy and talking about this guy and trying to claim that he's unbiased. I don't have an opinion. I am just the sage of boxing who is completely neutral. Fuck out of here with that. And then you got black dudes that just want to impress UK guys for views. That's what they do. There's a lot of UK casual fans that are fans of Deontay Wilder, that are fans of Anthony Joshua or whatever, and they flock to their videos. So they'll get a bunch of views from UK guys. So they figure that they're just going to defend. They're like the apologists. They're like the black American apologists for AJ fans. The ones that always got to be like, I'm not like them. We don't know. Listen to me. I look like them. I sound like them, but I don't think like them. So that means that not everybody really thinks like that over here. Hell no. We really think like that. And that dude right there is licking your boots for your views. That's what he's doing. He's trying to say what he got to, even the UK guys that want to represent Anthony Joshua and do all that. I really don't have any issue with them. I'm not going to listen to them, but they're over there. They're in the UK. That's their guy. But the guys over here, they're just trying to, because they constantly do it. If it was just one guy, I'd be like, okay, but they constantly do it. They're constantly apologists for people that tear down black fighters. If you find one of those guys that's been around any amount of time, if this guy is saying that Deontay Wilder's this and Deontay Wilder's that, and they're being disrespectful of Deontay Wilder, they also did that to Andre Ward. They also did that to Floyd Mayweather Jr. They will also do that to Errol Spence. They will do it to all of them because they're going to consistently apologize and try to suck up to their beer buddies, right? Because they're living out in the suburbs, or they go to work at wherever they're going to work, and that's their friends. Those are their friends that they want to surround themselves, or they're the people that they look up to, and they want to make sure that I's not like the rest of them. I'm not like the rest of them. Them type of dudes, man. Those type of dudes, man. That's the kind of cats they are. And you don't believe me? Listen to subject after subject after subject, dog. Subject after subject after subject, they do the same thing. When it was Kovalev Ward, Kovalev beat him in the second fight. Andre Ward cheated in the second fight. It's the same thing. It's not like you're going to find them supporting Andre Ward and then going against Deontay Wilder, right? Or it's not like you're going to see them be pro Pacquiao, but then be anti Ward, and then be pro Deontay Wilder. They're not going to do it. They want to be like-minded. They are the Uncle Ruckuses. That's Uncle Ruckus. And it really exists. It really exists. You ain't gonna find these cats they're not gonna support any black fighter. And the only time that they're gonna support another black fighter is when they're up against a blacker fighter. And I'm not talking about the complexion. I'm talking about Tim Bradley, like Tim Bradley versus Errol Spence. You know, if they got some debate going on, like Tim Bradley's making a lot of sense because that's the kind of guy Tim Bradley is. We'll call him Tim Bradleys. That's what I'll do. You're just talking about the Tim Bradleys. Tim Bradleys. Dog, only thing black around Tim Bradley is his daddy. That's it. Much love in the super chat. Yes, is it me? Is it? No, it's not just you. A bunch of people having issues with it, man. But every time I refresh, I see what's going on. I would love to see King Kong versus Fury. That's a chess match. Yes, sir, but he won't fight him. He ain't gonna fight King Kong. He ain't gonna fight him. He ain't gonna fight him. I think I would give him the advantage over him, but he's not gonna fight him. Chad is acting weird, family. Yeah, it is, man. Yeah, it is. That's all right, man. We'll keep it working. We'll keep it working. Do me a favor though. I'm plugging my Patreon, man. I'm plugging my Patreon. All right, I got the 32 Patreons. I put up kind of an odd video about individual targeting and gang stalking last night because one of my Patreons asked me about the subject, and I'm real interested in that subject, man. I'm real interested in that subject. Science can do some stuff now. But anyway, I put it up there, man. I hope you guys will go check it out. Let me get back to the chat. But I appreciate you, Ramon. Thank you, sir. Uncle Tom, Uncle Tim. No, I just call him Uncle Tim. Uncle Tim works. Uncle Tim. Oh, yeah, whatever, dude. See, exactly like that. That's why you hide these dudes, man. Bye. That's why you got these wrenches. These wrenches are going to be important. Guys with channels, don't underestimate the importance of these wrenches. Having good wrenches are going to be real important, dog. Real important. And better safe on the sorry. Ty Lexi, weird question. What is a Patreon? Oh, it's just a channel where you can subscribe to monthly. It's a monthly. It's like YouTube, but it's a private one. And like you subscribe to my channel, but the videos are on Patreon, and it's not ad-based. It's just like it's a monthly donation. So mine is $10. So for that, you get a video every day, just like I do these videos, do them every day, but they're going to be a lot more direct and a lot more political. Like what I'm doing over there is I'm doing subjects that you can't do on YouTube without getting your channel flagged. I just can't do them. I would love to talk about it with people. Love to ask questions. I give business advice when people want business advice. Today I'm gonna do a Patreon on the fact that this dude in Indiana got caught with 2,000 bones of Native Americans that he stole from graveyards and had on his house in display like a museum. He grave robbed the corpses of 50 Native Americans from Native American burial grounds and had him in his house as a museum display. And you should have heard how the commentators, it was crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, so yeah, that's what it is, man. It's those type of things, man, that I'm not going to do there. Not going to. What's going on, Mr. Boxing Today? Mr. Boxing Today 2, my man. I seen you've been uploading a lot more lately, man. That is a beautiful thing to see, man. Thank you, man. I've been enjoying them, man, because I need somebody to set me straight on this heavyweight stuff. You make the fights. You make fights that other people ain't never heard of. Yeah, YouTube is seriously bugging. Yeah, that's the hey, yeah, that's what they did. The dude did that. And he went around. It's a rich dude from Indiana who had he had a compound, and he went around the world illegally digging in in different countries, and pulling out relics from China, from India, kind of like the big game hunters that just go to different countries, like go to Africa because they love elephants, so they just want to go shoot them. This guy had a big collection. Most of them is in the United States, and he was grave robbing Native American graves, taken because they would bury stuff with them. So he would take the artifacts that was buried with them, and he would take the bones and put them up in his house. And this dude did this shit till he was 91 years old. No respect. No respect. If that doesn't tell you something about the minds, and you should have heard how it was being covered. You should have heard how the interviewer covered the issue. She actually asked the FBI agent, did he know this was illegal? Did he know? You think anybody in their right mind would think that it's legal to sneak onto into an Indian burial ground and start digging up bodies and polishing them and putting them on display along with their trinkets? I mean, they're like probably sitting there with, you can imagine they're probably sitting there with axes and feathers on their head, but they're a skeleton all around this gigantic compound. Dude, it's bugging, dog. Yeah, man. It's hello from Brazil, my friend. Oh, you in Brazil? Oh man, what's good? What's good, Real Pitbull? Yeah, keep signing me out too, man. I don't get it. This is YouTube. This isn't. They got some system update, dog. That's all that is, man. Just, oh god, it's messed up, but you know, it is what it is, man. How did he get caught? I don't know how he got caught. They didn't say. They raided him in 2014, and because somebody reported him. Somebody's like, man, this dude, somebody must have reported him. And the FBI came in there or probably if it's the FBI, which is, federal, some foreign country probably got wind that he took some stuff out of the country and wanted it back. That's what I would guess, and wanted it back and got it, and they raided him. Emmanuel Zoop from Eddie Hearn's statement, Wilder will get a tune-up from the zone for oh yeah, it's a lot of dough. If they're serious about it, I'll take all the stuff these guys say with a grain of salt, man. Fannon, blessings, brother. What's going on, Building Stronger, man? Yeah, man, it's absolutely crazy. Yeah, YouTube tripping, man. YouTube, man, you're a great channel. Love you very much. Stop this update. Hurry up, get this update done or whatever you're doing to your system. Because that's what they're doing. They got this thing where they're going to comments. They're going to start flagging and tearing people up because of comments. So if you guys want to wonder why Fannon hides behind wrenches, I've known this was coming for a long time. I've known it was coming. I've been telling people it's a channel. Consequently, it's your comments. It's your comment section. And I'll always tell you people like, oh, you guys, now, when they start dealing with racism, now we're going to see. Now we're going to see what y'all willing to say on your channels and who you not going to block and the conversations you willing to let fly when they start coming for you. When they start coming for you guys, you want all those guys to congregate on your channel, huh? Okay. You pop up in the morning with your shit gone. Get the strap. That's what I'm saying. Hey, dog, YouTube is on that sauce. Yes, sir. You keep on letting them cats say stuff, all kind of calling people all kind of thises and nats and all that other stuff. Wake up with your shit gone. If you say anything crazy on my channel, you're gone, dog. I'm about to have a 3,000 word block list on you, homie. 3,000 word block list. If you say it, you ain't coming through. Y'all ain't messing us up. Have you checked out Woodward TV videos? He made a great video on regarding gang stalking. No, I haven't, man. I can talk about it though. Y'all please go to my Patreon. I need one taker on the Patreon, dog, because I'm gonna start giving out prizes on my Patreon, dog. I'm gonna start giving prizes out on my Patreon because I really want to have good conversations with you guys on that, man. Because I can chop it up. Boxing is my love. Politics is probably what I'm best at, though. Like not this ADOS stuff and that, dog. Y'all don't, hey man. What's going on, retro boxing and documentaries? My man, what's going on? My man, 100 grand. I'm trying to tell you, look, man, ADOS, you guys, look, man, that's going to be another dude. That's another dude that's going to get, and I don't have a problem with the cat. I did my research on it after you guys talked about it. I'm looking at it. Dude, this is the same stuff I've been listening to since I was 12 years old. Okay? It's the same stuff since I've been hearing and talking about from 12 years old. These guys mimic other people and think it's original. It's not going to do any, that's not going to work. Okay? It's not going to work. And it'd be worse if we got our way on that. I'm telling you, it'll be worse. It'll be worse. You can't, organizations are always problems, dog. I'm telling you. Yeah, it's a great thing on paper, but that's it. Dog, what happens if they give you something and now you're done? It's not even yours to get. Here's the thing. It's not even yours to get. You know what I'm saying? And then think about this. Do you know how many people who you walk by every day in the United States is a descendant of an African slave and you don't even know it? You have any clue how much intermixing there was on plantations and how many people there are that look as European as they can be, but can prove that they're not? Do you remember the $5 Indians? How they were giving reparations to the Native Americans, and all of a sudden there's a whole bunch of a whole bunch of Europeans that claim that they were Native Americans and the reparations went to them? Do you not think that that's exactly what's going to happen? You got people all over America who are descendants of African slaves who you do not know are. And then what are you going to do? Argue with them that they're not when they can prove they are? They can prove it. Go look at how many times on these videos where people are like, oh, descendant of, damn, how did I get sub-Saharan African on my DNA? It says 3% sub-Saharan Africa. I'm shocked. People think just now that there's a lot of miscegenation going on, a lot of, European Americans and African Americans, or Africans and Europeans who live in America, that they're now mixing. It was way more back in the 1700s, way more in the 1600s, way more, because they used to be able just to grab black women up and do whatever they wanted to them, have a baby and leave them. Dude, go look at most of the people who are in the Reconstruction era, who were the senators and all that, from senators in Congress and in the House of Representatives during Reconstruction. Oh, y'all don't. It sounds good, dude, but do your stuff, man. You're just gonna walk up into and you're gonna be like, I'm a descendant of an African slave. Dude, I'm a descendant of an African slave. Okay, I can show you pictures of descendants of African slaves who look like Tom Brokaw. Okay, matter of fact, don't be surprised if Tom Brokaw isn't one. Don't be surprised, because they left the community. They were like, I look like it, so I'm gonna marry somebody else that doesn't know that they are. And they just hid and blended in. Now they're gonna be like, what? I got a tax break for admitting this? Me too. It'll be the Me Too movement. That is exactly what would happen. Me too. Dog, that's drama, dog. I'm trying to tell you. Exactly. Everyone on earth has, but literally, they are descendants of African slaves. They are. They are. It's not even a question. They are. Telling you, they're definitely in my wife's family. You would never know they are, dude. They're all through Louisiana. Damn, half the state of Louisiana will come asking for that. Oh, pay up, dog. Me too. Shit, me too. Dude, that's why I'm saying, dude, it's so much better. In my opinion, man, it is much better if you have a program that is around rebuilding yourself. Rebuilding yourself, or if there are children, building the child to being very constructive and being able to use whatever resources they have to make their lives better. It makes much more sense to focus on solving the problem that we have right now than looking for something that is going to cause you trouble. Nothing, in the words of John Henrik Clarke, nothing that has come from the mind of X is meant to do anything but facilitate domination and control over the rest of everybody else. You think that's going to be any different? And I heard the young man, and I appreciate the young man's spirit and the desire to be a leader. But dude, leadership, there's not a lot of leaders. Really, because we don't have a lot to lead. Where are you taking us? That's why I love Neely Fuller Jr. He's a spokesman. I'm a spokesman. You're a spokesman. You have the right to speak up about that issue and let yourself know what your opinion is. And you can control what you do. And getting resources and getting, solving the problems that you have is the best thing that can be happening. Following somebody down their path of what they think is important because they speak well, I don't advise it, homie. Devil in a blue dress. Yeah, they're all over the place, man. Come on, man. They're all over the place. My sister did DNA testing plus research and found plenty of our ancestors. People we believe that we want. Oh, people will believe what they want to believe. Yeah. Yep. They were okay. Nice living in the PJs. What's that? a descendant of spam. It's just, everybody's trying to lead somebody somewhere. Everybody trying to reinvent the wheel, man. Fannon, it's already been, okay, we can't seek financial compensation. Other groups, why can't we seek financial compensation? Other groups have done it. Okay, you can. I'm not saying you can't. But what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? First of all, what are you going to do with it? Second of all, are you going to ask for full payment? Got all kind of issues with that. Are you asking for full payment or partial payment? Huh? What is the price you put on a life? Okay. Let's talk about the reparations that took place for Japanese, right? That's one of them, right? Because of the internment camps. I'm going to have to take this down. Internment camps, right? During World War II. They know exactly who they put in them camps. They know exactly how long they stayed in there. They know exactly when they let them out, right? You can quantify that. You can't quantify slavery. You can't do it. There's no way they have the money to pay it back. You're asking somebody by asking for financial repayment for that, you are asking for something they can't do. You are without a doubt going to get taken short pay on it. So you're telling me I'm supposed to get behind short payment? How much is Bill Gates worth? Bill Gates is worth what, $100 billion? So let's say he's worth $100 billion. Say that is the wealthiest man in the world, but that's what his human life is worth, $1 billion. So we'll say, okay, we'll value a human life at what? What the richest guy is. Say $1 billion a life. That's $1 billion times how many million? How many million people died on the way over here? How many people lived their life, born in it, died in it? We got 40 million people now, 40, 50 million people now, and it recycles, right? So total number of people that lived might be 100, might be 200, 300 million people. That might be 300 million people times $1 billion plus interest. And that's just restitution. Now you're talking about punitive damages. What are you going to do? And recovering what people took. So not only do you have to pay what I lost, I want my compensation from it. I want you punitive damages on you. And I want special damages. I want the profit, the money, and the things that they could have made. Not just the value of their life, but what they could have done. You can't measure that stuff. There's not enough money in the entire planet to repay what was done during the transatlantic slave trade and Jim Crow. You can't pay for it. There's not enough money. They would have to turn over the entire country. They would have to turn over 99% of the wealth in Europe, and they would have to go in debt to us for the next 300 years in order to pay that back. Think about the money that's involved in that. And you're going to take a tax break? Hey, we'll be even if you give me a tax break. And then but you don't solve the problem. You don't stop the debt because the debt is still going. It's still going. I'm telling you, you can ask for it, but why are you taking short pay? Don't sit there and get mad about Deontay Wilder saying he wants $15 million for a fight that he thinks that he deserves, right? This is the equivalent of Deontay Wilder, right? If we settled for, give me a number. I give you a number. Say $1 billion in cash. $1 billion in cash were divided amongst all the black people in America, all of them. Our settlement would be pennies on the thousands. It would be like offering a fight to Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua and offering Deontay Wilder $2 for the fight. That's how much it would be worth if you settled for $1 billion. Because there's one human being on this planet that's worth $100 billion. Multiply that by 300-400 million people that's lived and died in it. They can't pay you back. That's why they don't try to pay you back. Because they can't pay you back. You asking somebody that's broke to pay you some shit they ain't got. They don't have it. You want to pay me back? You steal $1 million from me and you offer me, well, look, man, I know I took $1 million from you. Here's $5. That's your repayment. $5. That's the concept. At least how I see it. That's the concept. Because how much is one life worth? One. And think about how many lives. And not just the lives, the punitive damages. What kind of damages are you going to give to ensure you never do it again? What type of damages would keep you from ever wanting to do something that would make you hundreds of billions and trillions of dollars over the next 400 years? What would convince you not to do that? How could you even give punitive damages for that? They would have to literally all go off the planet. You know what I mean? They would have to literally all commit euthanasia for the punitive damages. You can't get it. And just because some fancy pants ass kid got some cute idea about how to pimp, no disrespect to him, how to pimp towards a political, hey, the Democrats, for us to support them, they got to support us. They got to give me. No, it ain't ours to give. It ain't ours to give. It wasn't ours to, it's not ours to negotiate with. Dude, no. But if you want something, say you want something, but don't call it repayment. Reparation, repay me. You pay me what you owe me. You pay me what was taken. They don't have the money, dog. Okay? I'm telling you, they don't have the money. So what are you asking for the money for? And if they gave you the money, dog, then what are you going to say now? Now they get to go on and do whatever they want to do. Because look, man, we repaid you. Yeah, I took all that money here. Here's your $2. I repaid you. You know why they're not going to do it? Because then they admit guilt. You admit guilt, then they're like, oh, yes, we have to acknowledge, yes, formally that this was happening. Now let's settle. They'll be in court forever because I would take somebody to court. I'd be like, hold on, man, I didn't agree to that. No, I'm talking about my family. No, I didn't agree to what ADOS said. I didn't agree to that. I didn't agree to that. I don't want that. But you admitted guilt. Now you admitted guilt. Let me come get you. Now let's talk about it, right? I want $10 trillion. I was a descendant of whatever the guy's name was, the guy that's worth $400 billion out of Mali. Right? The guy out of Mali. I can't remember what his Mansa Musa. I'm Mansa Musa. Yeah, I'm the descendant of Mansa Musa. I need that money. Okay? It's just not gonna work, dog. Nelson Noble said, Fannon, black people need to start our own businesses and build our own nation. I don't think black people. What's Nelson Noble's in the building? I don't think black people. I do not think that black people should not vote until we have a candidate we can finance. Look, here you go, man. Much love in the super chat. This is a Patreon conversation. Y'all robbing, hey, y'all need to repay me. That's why I don't do this channel, because these cats wouldn't like me. I listen to these dudes talk, man. I listen to these guys debate. It's like, man, stop. Stop. Neely Fuller, do you. Solve you. Right? I'm not these ultra-conservative, libertarian guys, and I'm not somebody that's anti-government. I think government is a beautiful thing because local government specifically, man, I need my potholes fixed. Okay, there's a pothole in front of my house, man. Will you fix this? I need clean water. Can you make sure the pipes are clean? Right? We're going to focus on a distraction like that. But you got Flint, Michigan. Hey, Camilla Harris, how much money are you going to dedicate in federal funds to cleaning up the water supply in Flint, Michigan? You going to fix that? You can do that. You can afford that. They can afford that. That's something they can do. They can yank them pipes up. They can put the new pipes in. They can get that shit done in 5-6 years. They can dump a few $billions into the water system and into the infrastructure of Michigan, the state of Michigan, so little black babies don't have to grow up drinking lead soup. Fix that. Ask somebody to do something they can do. You asking these guys to repay you for that. It's like you might as well be asking Camilla Harris to do a somersault over the top of your house. Number one, they're not going to do it. And number two, if they wanted to do it, they can't even pay you. They don't even got the money. Ask Camilla to do a 360 dunk from the half court line, going 3 times between her legs and dunk over the back of her head and in like this before you're going to see that pop off. So, and they've never wanted to do that. You're gonna vote for her because she demands it? Kid, that makes no sense to me. Straight up, that makes no sense to me. I'm Aborigine. Yeah, that's cool. That's what's Fannon. Why your mods snipping innocent bystanders? Is it because YouTube is tripping on cats now that leave funky ass comments and stuff like that, man? It really hurts the channel. They always do that. But let me see. I will, Jose, bye. Come here for boxing, not politics. See you, dude. We talk about whatever we want to talk about every day. Okay? We talk about it every day. And I talk about black people. I do. If you don't like that, hey man, I'm sorry. Go to those guys don't have live streams. I would say go to these dudes' live streams, but they don't have boxing live streams. The boxing live streams got like 2 people in the shit for like 13, do like 10 hours of it, 10 hours with 3 people in there. And they talk to each other. Not very fun, man. Not very fun. But you know, knock yourself out, homeboy. All they can be done is to send you to school. Junior the Truth, man. What's going on? What's going on, man? Fannon. Oh man, what's going on, man? Much love, Junior the Truth, man. You funny. He said, "My big bro Fannon, this one is for the good, of the hood. This is towards the cost of the stream." Salute. Touche, homie. Touche. That's my dude. Subscribe to Junior the Truth, man. Subscribe to Junior the Truth. Oh man, I love you. Hey man, you my guy, man. You my guy. Let me go. Let me check. Let me check the super chats. Make sure I didn't miss anybody, man. You got me. You got me. You got me, Junior. Hey man, I gotta get you on the channel too, man. God, dog. Oh man, that's hilarious. Hold on. Let me get to this super chat real quick. Oh yeah, Reese Mack in the building, man. That's my dude. Snacks B. I'm sorry I missed that, dog. Salute to you, Fannon, LDBC, and the chat. Much love, Snacks B. Ramon Baez said Lomo the white hype fighting bum. Much love, super chat. Hey, Loma gotta fight that dude, man. Lomachenko's gotta do it. Who else he fight? He's trying to get the belts. And nobody else got a belt but Mikey Garcia, who's fighting, and Richard Comey, who's injured. He wanted to fight Richard Comey. So, I mean, if he got to fight Anthony Corolla, he got to beat up on Anthony Corolla. $1 billion Corolla. He'll look like a star. I actually got to go back and watch Corolla fight, man, before I say he's going to mash him. But I definitely suspect that he's going to mash him. New Wakanda TV Fannon, you got political intelligence. Teach the people, man. Fannon is a mixture of boxing and education. Be entertaining and learn something dumb. He's scared. Yeah, man. Undergrad, I was a political science major, and I was very, 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 very into these very into these issues, man. And a lot of these cats are just like, there's always been an economy around Black power. right? There's always been like that's what I concur. Black empowerment, whatever you want to say it. But black people in American empowerment, talking about our issues, and most of the things that come around that way, dude, are like people in the inner city communities and the country communities, cats that just the bulk of the people of Black America are interested in. And there's always been like a what do you call it, a cottage industry around it, right? You go to college, you got people selling their PhDs, selling their books. You got people going on speaking engagements. There's always been that circuit of people. There's been always been that circuit of people, right? I think some people are more legitimate than other people are. So when I hear these things, now it's hashtags, right? Now it's things like, like it, even like Me Too. Me Too was really, Me Too was a Black hashtag about, I think the woman's from Alabama, or either Alabama or Arkansas, South Carolina, somewhere in the South, where she was trying to get government funds for a specific purpose of helping women who were battered victims. But look what happened to that hashtag. Now it's about making sure that some Hollywood star, gets repaid for having been on a casting couch 30 years ago. Something that's just not about. Those type of movements get hijacked. Black Lives Matter. From the start, really wasn't about black people. That was like a phrase, but really it's an LGBTQ, whatever their acronym is, and no offense to them, but that's what their organization is. That's what they're. Oh man, Dustin, man. I'm sorry. Hey, I'm not gonna say the name. I'm sorry. Man, much love for I got the new Patreon in the building. That hurts my ear, dog. But I'm giving 10 gongs for Patreons to show up in the channel. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that, man. But yeah, man, these movements always get usurped. Nation of Islam usurped. Black Panthers usurped, right? It's just, but individuals, you can't usurp individuals. You're not, because you don't know what that is. If you just see yourself, you are dedicated to trying to figure out recognize where you are, what's going on, and how you direct yourself through your own life, and you becoming an example of something that is constructive, somebody that's productive and constructive, who's not confused, right? Who's not confused, and who's trying to bring about justice in the world. You have succeeded in your role in this movement. Your movement, you've gotten you taken care of. That's huge. Now, if you got children, you try to get them to accept that they've got to get themselves like that, right? That's why Neely Fuller talks about the united independent. We're united in that we're going to do this independently, but we're going to have a code for how we approach it. That is defining words and trying to eliminate confusion from your life. Even that subject that we were talking about with gang stalking and targeted individuals, that a lot of that has to do with causing confusion in your life. Somebody's hitting you from here, they're hitting you from there, they're hitting you from there. You're feeling fear, you're feeling this, right? Fear a lot of times is mystery. Like, you don't know what's going on, you don't know what's going to happen. That's a cousin to confusion. If you can eliminate confusion in your life, you will be a lot less susceptible to traps that people set up with you. Especially if you're consistently being productive and constructive, right? And that, in my more years than I want to admit of focusing on that, thinking about that stuff, that's what I found has been the most productive, and is really something that can stand the test of time. And you're not asking somebody that you shouldn't really trust anyway to help you with it. Like, why would I want to, if I don't trust you? If I have a reason not to trust you, right? A reason not to trust you. Why would I go out of my way to ask you for help? I should try to find a way for me to help myself. Let's think about it, man. What up, Mr. King Palmer? What's good, man? DeMarco Denson said, what's up from Seattle, man? I'm chilling, man. What's good, man? I love hearing a dude with surface level. Let me see. Big plans, little drive. I love hearing a dude with surface level knowledge going deep. You never know where you will end up. Yeah, much love in the Super Bowl. Yeah. I hope that's a compliment, dog. I have surface level knowledge, but I'm going deep. Oh, I'm not sure what that means, but I definitely have, yeah, Neely Fuller Jr. is a genius. He's one of the most brilliant men I've ever listened to. He's brilliant. Like, because he's so creative, he's so simple. It's so simple. But that's the guy I like. Come on, American boxing is dead. What you over here for then? I'm an American boxing fan, and we got almost 300 people in the house talking boxing every morning, having a good time. Yes, my heart's beating. And we talking boxing, so it can't be dead. You're here complaining. Nelly cartoons are the greatest. What's that? Oh, yeah, they are. They got the thing that guy does. Yeah. Oh, definitely an insult. Yeah. Yeah, like, yeah, if you think I got surface, I mean, you can have a surface level understanding of something, but I don't have a surface level understanding of it. I've got an extremely deep understanding of it. Of being black in America, I guarantee you I got more experience in it than most people in this chat because I've been a black man in America for over 40 years. How long does it take you to be an expert? Huh? Every day of my life. Every day of my life. How many more? I mean, what can I do? What subject can you be involved with every minute and every day of your life and you don't have a deep understanding of? Huh? Anything? If you play basketball every day of your life, think, sleep, wake up, go to sleep, thinking about basketball, you're going to know something about basketball. That's how it works. Experience and repetition. That's how you learn anything. That's what I've been the whole life. So that's my qualifications for talking about the problems of black people in America. I'm a black person in America and been one significantly over 40 years. Thank you very much. If somebody lives in China for 80 years, they know what it is to live in China. You're going to argue with somebody that's lived in China for 80 years about what life in China is like, and you ain't never been there? You're going to say you got a surface level knowledge of that? Huh? That's my real expertise. But I just, so you know, I also have 27 years. Is it 27 years? Yeah, I also got about 27 years of formal education in the United States. I've read the books. But it's nice to see a troll with experience troll. Kidding me? I know about being human the most. Think about that. Yeah, I definitely, exactly. I don't have to think about that. I know exactly what you're talking about. I know what it is to be a human. America, does Neely Fuller Jr. have a website? Yeah, it's producejustice.com. Zeus! Hold on. Shut up. Zeus. Shut up. Sorry about that. What's going on, Ross Horseman Lee? But yeah, Zeus tripping. Oh, by the way, though, I gotta agree with the troll because I listen to y'all talk about Eddie Hearn's contracts all the time. And y'all don't even have surface level knowledge. God, dog, but you be going. You go with it. God dang poodles. Yeah. I admire your education background, brother. There's a difference between education and indoctrination. No, dog. Education is indoctrination. Formal education is indoctrination. For me, there is no difference between the two. If you're talking about formal education, school, right? And I know that you're saying there's life experiences and there's learning. If you're not in school, you're learning, you're experiencing, you're growing. But if you're talking about formal education is about development of skills, work habits, and indoctrination. It forms the way that you see the world, right? So my degree is my undergrad degree. I got a BA in political science and sociology. That's my major. That's what I graduated with. Political science and social. My major was political science. My minor was sociology. And from there, I went to school. I went to law school and got a Juris Doctorate. So those are the three main things that formulate my formal education after I got out of high school, right? So that's how I think. Sociology is the study of politics. It's of human relationships, right? How humans relate to one another. Political science is basically the study of formal government structures and the relationships. And there's a relationship with history and all of that, right? And then a Juris Doctor or Doctor of Laws is rules, analyzing and applying rules, recognizing issues, applying rules, applying facts to those rules, and developing a conclusion. And that's how that's what I was educated, and that's how I see the world. That's different than somebody else who had a lot of life experience. Say, for example, they didn't get a form, or they're like an engineer, or they're a musician. A guy that's a musician is very, very structured in the way they see the world, very methodical, right? So, it's just different ways that you see the world, man. Sierra F said, "You on fire, loving every word, Fannon. Salute." Thank you. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. I'm not quite El Real. What you think? I don't know. What do you think? You got to say something that I understand, dog. I don't know what that means. You got to be a little more clear. Big plans, little drive. You got to be a little more. And honestly, man, I wouldn't even name yourself that, dude. Is that an indictment on yourself that you got big plans, but you lazy and don't want to take care of business? What up? Speak to fact. What's going on, man? Yeah, what's going on? Clay got him. Yeah, man. I mean, I would like to have a conversation with you, man, but if you're just going to be trolling, your name is trolling. You got big plans, you got a lot of ambition, but you have no interest in taking care of it. Who would name? Don't put that label on yourself, man. That shit will be for that. My name is Fannon from Frantz Fanon. That's what it is. Frantz Fanon. Okay? It says everything you need to know. The spelling is different, but it says everything you need to know about me and about what I think and my view on the world. It's in my name. You might not know who that is. And it's pronounced, I pronounce it on the channel differently, spell a little differently because I don't want it to be confused with the original. But that should tell you a lot about what I think, what my worldview is. I see what you named yourself, and it tells me a lot about what your worldview is. Dudes have no clue the power of a name or words. No, man. So Onyx, what's going on? Onyx X, he says, salute for non-interesting topics. Yeah, man, we chopping it up about something different. Randy Ridley says, speak it, believe it, receive it. Yes, sir. Maury Marcus Harrell, if I mispronounce that, forgive me, said it is a difference. Education is general. Indoctrination is more specific in one's belief on being educated. Yeah, indoctrination is, you're accepting the belief systems. Somebody's giving you a belief system. But like I said, man, words are what do you mean by it? Is the question, right? What do you mean by that? Define the word for me. If you're saying education and I'm thinking indoctrination, and then we say, okay, we're gonna write education, colon, and then write the definition down, right? You do that for education, and I say indoctrination, colon, then I write my definition down. And the two words, right? The two different words in that colon, and those colons are followed by the exact same definition, then we know we're saying the same thing. The reason why you have words is to convey a meaning, right? And if you're not using the proper words, if you guys don't have the same meaning associated with the same sound that's coming out of your mouth, then there's going to be confusion, which is one of the big reasons for trying to figure out how do you define words so that when you hear them or when you use them, that you guys can make sure that you're accurately conveying your meaning. And that's a very important thing, man. Yes, observe versus absorb. Yep. That is why with the LDVC hard, it's either boxing or free games, but you trolls are too dumb to separate it. Yeah, man, they're not very bright guys. That is for real. KP boxing and MMA, how do you go about affecting political reform? Reps are racist, Dems are corrupt, the third parties. How do you change this? You're not going to change by one person at a time. That's the theory that I follow the best, because all of that is underneath a larger situation. It's all byproduct of the core problem. Find the core problem. It's generally the people are being treated unfairly. But whatever, you find the core problem. And then you, as an individual, learn to compensate for the existence of that problem. So no matter whatever type of stuff they set up for you, whatever type of stuff that you might encounter, right? You personally, KP Boxing, know how to navigate and compensate for the existence of that problem. And then when you find something that works for you, you encourage other people to behave in the same fashion, finding a way for them to compensate and learn how to navigate their way through the problem. Because it's better for the individual to learn how to recognize it and compensate for it than it is for them to wait around trying to solve and get other people convinced that they need to change their ways. That's my viewpoint on it. You know what I mean? If somebody sprays mud on you, you can stand around in the street all day telling people, look, he sprayed mud on me. I need for you to clean this mud off. Somebody needs to get this mud off me. Where you go in, you take your shirt, you wash your clothes, and you see him coming down the next time, oh, he's going to throw mud at me. Oh, let me stand behind this tree when he passes by. Didn't hit me, hit the tree. Great. Now I go on about my business. You know, something like that. Something like that. Only me, Sleuth Fannon. I almost missed the show this morning. I hate to hear that, man. Oh, glad you made it, though, Only Me. My man. Cool Breeze said, I gave my opinion on ADOS already. I already gave it, man. I think that it is. I just gave. You got to rewind the stream, man. I don't want to. I am not convinced that the idea of reparations will work. That number one, that they're realistic. Even if they were realistic, that they would be a short payment. And I think that I would rather rebuild than ask to be repaid. I would rather rebuild, and I'd rather have individuals rebuild themselves and get to a point where that system has to adjust, because I believe that system is there, and it's going to behave. It will always change how it acts in order to meet its goal, because systems are there to produce repeatable and predictable results. And if you throw a virus into that system, it will have to react, right? They run antivirus software. They'll figure out where it is, work around it, right? Neutralize the virus, isolate it, quarantine it. System keeps going. So that, I believe, is just that AIDS, I believe, is a virus to the system, right? Because it's meant to break that system. It's meant to cause some disruption to the system. And it will adjust, it'll adapt, and it will isolate and quarantine it. And that has been proven over and over and over again whenever you're talking about some mass movement of people, whether it is the abolitionist movement, whether it is the whether it's Garveyites, whether it is the Me Too, whether it is civil rights, whether it is education reform, whether it is criminal justice reform, whatever it is that you try to do in a group, the system has always managed to adjust and return back to producing predictable and repeatable results. So I think we need to do something. I think there needs to be something other than group movements. I don't think the group movements work. They prove that they don't work. Or that they have an answer to it, either by having somebody inside changing the goals of the movement, right? So even with ADOS, right, the way that it's already been moved because it's already been moved, right? Talking about repayment to through cash disbursements or something like that to tax credits. Well, they're not actually giving you anything. They're just saying we'll take less from you. It's already been shifted. And it's going to shift quick to that. And if it gets too much headway, just like all of it does like that. But if you are a constructive and productive individual, and everyone works at trying to figure out how we can all compensate for it, I think it's at least a system. I think it will be harder for the system to adjust to 50 million individuals all united in figuring out how they're going to codify a compensation for reality, right? Than it is having one group of several composed of a bunch of people. Because once you cut the head off that group, it's gone. Once you get 2 or 3 people leading it, then it follows those 2 or 3 people. But you gotta lead yourself. How are you gonna move you? Just you? You'll have to betray yourself. And 50 million people would have to betray themselves individually. So it's just a different thing, man. Justin Marsh, man, I appreciate you, man. But look, man, you got me talking. Join the super. Hey, come on, man. Can y'all please do the Patreon? You stealing all my Patreon material for free. I got to take my stream down. I got to do all of that because of this. That's why I have a boxing channel. I don't have a politics channel. I don't really like to talk about all that stuff amongst a bunch of people. Because then you got to have conversations with people that think they know everything. And I individually have figured out something in my life that works. And it works for me. That system that was set up that I read, because I was listening to Francis Cress Welsing. For you guys to know, I was reading Dr. Welsing's book, right? I was just going through some videos, listening to her on the Donahue show, cracking up, it was real funny. And then she mentioned his name. And I was like, I've never actually listened to the source for her material. And I thought this guy was a professor at a university. That's just my assumption. I was like, this guy's a professor at a university. What's he a doctorate in? I was looking up his education. This guy, he's not a college educated guy. He's a military guy. He served in every branch of the military, right? So volunteered for multiple different deployments. And he's just a super anal retentive, analytical cat that is like super, super logical. He's like the Rain Man. He's like the Rain Man of all of this subject matter. And he stood in. So I listened to him, and it took a little while for me to get into it. Oh, this guy's nothing like Francis Cress Welsing. She's nothing like her at all. And I started listening, and I was like, damn, this dude is on. And he speaks slow. It's like, it's not fancy. He's not raising his voice. He's not doing all, he's just, and I started applying in my life the things that he said, and it works. It works like works. Like works. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to have a YouTube channel that has 20,000 subscribers and you're going to get 500 Patreons, listen to Neely Fuller Jr. The basics of what he's saying will work for you. It will work for you. Anyway, it worked for me. Muhammad is the one, man. What's good? If you want to get along with it's just your wife, and just not go crazy because you can't make sense of the world. He's a powerful, powerful dude, man. What's the guy's name so I can listen to him? It's Neely Fuller Jr. Neeley Fuller. Neely, Neeley. It might be Neely, but Neely, 2 E's, then Fuller, Fuller. Me, Fuller has mastered verbal judo. Yeah, dude is seriously real, dog. Thanks. Yeah, dude is real, man. But you got to listen to him. And just listen to his thought process, not what he believes. His thought process is what's important, not his belief on any particular issue. And he'll tell you that. He's like, look, logic was given to us by the creator. Logic. You cannot get outside of logic. If you follow logic, then things will make sense, right? And he follows the logic. Now, logic might take you somewhere else, and you're free to go somewhere else with it. But the process of it, and I've always loved, like I took finite math in college, dude. That was the easiest thing for me forever is finite math. I was like, this is to breeze. You know, I loved it because that's what that is. It's logic. Anyway, I'm still learning. You got that, man. Beliefs are opinions based off emotions. He uses logics and facts. He doesn't speak about opinions and belief. No, not at all, dog. Much love in the super chat, though, my man. But you know, that's just me, man. Cats got to do what cats do. And thank you, Muhammad, is the one. That gun was for you. PK Bot says, subscribe to Fannon's Patreon for more of this wisdom, man. I'd appreciate it because that's what I love to do, man. I want to have 500 Patreons where we can chop it up. We can do live streams on the Patreon, or we can just really get into it. Once I get to my 500, dude, I will break down all of the material. All of the material. And for the cornbread that thought I had surface knowledge of this, I've read and studied this stuff till you saw the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Okay? Over and over and over again. There's nothing none of these cats that are making these arguments, like the people that are having these debates on YouTube. I was listening to these cats, you know, baby-faced dudes. Like, okay, this kid is what? One of these guys was clear. Like, I listened to this debate yesterday on YouTube, right? I listened to it for a little while until I realized what it was. One guy's name was Pharaoh, and the other guy was Brother X something, right? And I was like, brother something, right? Like one guy, closely cropped hair, right? Suit, tie, cleanly shaven. Another guy, right? Had a different uniform on. His had he had braids. He had it wasn't a dashiki, but it was something of that African, you know, and I could just look at them and knew who they were mimicking. I know exactly who you're mimicking. Okay? This is the Nation of Islam guy. This is the Rasta, right? Or is this the Pan-Africanist in the nation? Okay, let's go back to who these were, you know, before they were them, right? And they're arguing over Farrakhan and Malcolm X and and what happened in the political situation, what happened between Farrakhan and Malcolm X. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what am I gonna learn from this? How is this gonna actually help me make better decisions in my life? I could only listen to it for a couple of seconds because, quite honestly, Malcolm X was passed in 1963, or excuse me, he passed in 1964. What is this going to do? What is this conversation going to do? You're debating Hey, I just couldn't, you know. Okay, guys. Did you watch the face-to-face between Mike and what do you think? I got a video coming up. It's going to be out at, actually, it's going to be out in about 30 minutes because I got it set to come out at 12:30. So check it out. I'll get into that. But these dudes all the time trying to debate each other. Yeah, man. And it's like, for what? Skip it. For you young dudes, I'm trying to tell you, skip it. Skip ahead. Okay? That's what listening to people with experience and knowing how they failed and what happened, you can skip ahead. The only reason that you look at history is to see what did they do wrong. What did Malcolm X do wrong? What did he do wrong? What did Martin Luther King do wrong? What did Marcus Garvey do wrong? What did W.E.B. Du Bois do wrong? What did Booker T. Washington do wrong? What did Frederick Douglass do wrong? What did Kwame Ture, Stokely Carmichael do wrong? What did they do wrong? Right? What did Eldridge Cleaver do wrong? I understand what they represented, but what did they do wrong? Right? Not just listen to them for what you agree. What did Dr. Amos Wilson do wrong? What did Dr. Don Henrik Clark, what did he do wrong? Why did Kwanzaa not work? Why did the guy what did he do wrong? That's why you study these guys. You're trying to figure out what they did wrong, not what they did right and whether you agree with them. Because if the goal is to solve a problem, the problem's still here. None of them reached their goal. Why not? Why do all these groups fail? Did they fail because they're groups? Maybe you keep seeing movements fail. Movements die. Well, maybe it's because it's a movement. Maybe it's because it's a group. I see individuals succeed left, right, front, and center. I see individuals improving their life all over the place. But I've never seen groups overcome it. I've never seen individuals overcome it. I've seen them compensate for it. Even when these morons like Jason Whitfield is saying, "Oh, that doesn't apply to Eddie," the system that what we're talking about doesn't apply to LeBron James. No, it applies. He's just compensated for it. He just has a means by which to compensate for it. He is in this situation. He is in this system. Why does he have an easier time than somebody else does? There's something about LeBron James that allowed him to compensate for the situation. He's not above or out of the situation. If he lost whatever he has to compensate for it, he'd immediately be back in it. Right? Isn't that what we see all the time? Like, oh, you're flying real high. You're doing all these things. You think you're better than everybody else. Then all of a sudden you get torn back down. And then what do you call that? A reality check? Right? What is the concept of a reality check? Other than hearing not you guys, but hearing people throw it in people's faces. It is that whatever they had that compensated for the system that they live in, they are no longer able to compensate for it. And we know what changed that kept them from compensating from it. Jason Whitlock is saying, I got somebody carrying my bag and this. Yeah, why? Do you have that? If I don't have it and you do have it, you do have this system. It's easier for you. What do you have that if you would lose it, would you be back in my situation? We know what that is. We know what it is. Right? But you're compensating for it. You didn't cure it. You compensated for it. It's like a brace on your leg. Like, yeah, I got a hurt. I tore my ACL. I can't walk. You get a brace. You put a brace on it. Putting a brace on it doesn't mean that your ACL grew back. It just means you have a piece of metal strapped to two sides of your legs, and it helps you compensate for the absence of your Achilles, of your ACL. Right? You claiming because you got a brace, then all of a sudden you ain't got a knee injury. Yeah, you do. You just got a brace. You got a lot of money, so that means you don't have those type of problems. Yes, you do. You just got a lot of money. So anyway, that's just my take, man. Yeah, that's a Justin March that moment. But that's my take, man. Yeah, D74. That's a problem with a group. You're going to double agent yourself? We are double agents to ourselves all the time. I'm trying to get muscular and lean. My dad's a visiting from out of town. He left them dang brownies on the counter. Popped two of them brownies. I was an enemy to myself last night. Right? That's how I see it, man. But thanks, Harold Tatum. LeBron had his house vandalized. No money could stop that. Yeah, good talk. The L fighter. Thanks, man. But that's just me, man. Subscribe. If you guys aren't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon. And these conversations are for Patreon. And I'm doing them every day on different subjects, pretty much with the same mentality. This is basically the framework of how I see the world on those issues that are related to us that we talk about all the time. And by developing that framework of how I view the world, Then I will then look at every situations and judge it by that frame of thought that I have. And mine is that it's being and I'm taking this directly from Neely Fuller Jr. that being constructive in everything you say, you think, and you do, right? And constructive meaning that it's working towards a goal of creating justice in the world, or for you, it could be towards, towards achieving a short-term, medium-term, or long-term goal that it will work, that will move you towards that goal. And moving towards that goal and judging everything you say, say, and do, that you will be less confused because you'll be more focused. And when you're less confused, it's harder for somebody to get in your ear and misdirect you because you got your eye on the prize, right? And that's my theory. That's how I see it. Like what Nassim Dream said, I like what I heard today. Fannon, thanks for the lesson, bro. No worries, man. It's all fun. Eddie Soto. What's Eddie Soto? Yeah, whatever. He loves me. I'm not gay, though. I do support them, though. I don't think that they should be treated unfairly because of that. You know what I mean? It's just that I'm not interested in it. I respect his right to be that way. I respect him for that, But there's a lot of frustration that comes with that if you're not willing to admit it and the object of your affection doesn't return that affection. I can understand, but I can understand that. D-Lo Forrest said, great chat. I'm glad I stayed for the duration. Thanks, man. Hey, Fannon, what's Ortiz's future at this point? I'll get some more paydays and get a good fight, and he'll probably lose to one of the top guys when he looks kind of bad. I wouldn't be surprised if he got if Deontay Wilder fights and if he beats Brazil, because that shit can happen in fights. If he fights Brazil and he wins Brazil and that don't work, he might fight Wilder again. He's not fighting Tyson Fury. And he ain't fighting. And he's not going to fight. Tyson Fury might take that fight. Maybe. I used to say he would. But I don't know now. I come across some hoes all the time. It's sad, bro. Yeah, man. Because people can feel it. And also, when you're not very bright, you can feel inept. You know what I mean? When you're not very bright, it's tough, man. Oh, said Black Wall Street failed as well, even if it was because of hatred. Yeah, and I'm not saying everything will fail. You just in a situation like I said about that, it's designed to produce this. And when you do something like be constructive, when you do something like being constructive, not being destructive, when you are being positive, when you are doing things that generally try to bring about justice in the world, that's a virus in a system that's intended to produce the opposite. Right? It's intended to produce the opposite. It's intended to produce mistreatment, right? And subordination and domination for one group of people over another. It's intended, it's designed to do that. That's why I quote John Henrik Clarke. Everything that is come out of the mind of is intended. Its purpose was the domination and control of other people. That's colonization. Colonization is domination and control of other people. That's what it is. And then you see that, then you say, okay, well, if that's their purposes, I just got to figure out how I can compensate for that. Because you can't fix it yourself. Oh, Antonio Mendoza said, I never come across him because I refuse to give channels traffic. Yeah, if you see it come up in that's why the dude that mentioned that, it's probably him. It's probably him. Just say the truth. It's him. But he can't find an end to pub himself in this conversation. Talking to some of these dudes, all you got to do is, it's like, you ever talk to somebody that's not that bright? Just up the level of conversation just a little bit. And then all of a sudden you're speaking French. I said the word algorithm and it threw people's head all up. Wow! Algorithm? BoxRec has an algorithm? Of course, but let's look at BoxRec. BoxRec. No, the WBC rankings don't matter. It's BoxRec. Get the fuck out of here. I feel the same way about things we call the system. Yeah, man. I mean, I had an argument with my brother about that, dog. I was like, man, if there's, you know, IT, we know IT. If you see something happening over and over again, there's a system. Okay, there's a system. System is just an action that's repeated over and over again, or a series of actions that are repeated to produce a predictable and repeatable result. You wake up in the morning, you got a system. Budhead's got a system to get high. What is your system? I get up in the morning, I stop by my boy's house, I buy one of them cats, I get a backwoods, I buy a lighter, I sit down, I turn on Game of Thrones, I roll it up, I'm there. That's my system. That's my system. And I repeat it. And it works every time. Every time I go to his house, he got it. Every time I give him $10, he gives it back to me. He gives it to me. Every time I go to the store, the backwoods are there. Every time I come home, my TV is there. I paid my cable bill, so I turn it on. Game of Thrones is on demand. It's there. I don't have to worry about it. It's going to be that way every time I want to do it. It's predictable. It's repeatable results. Okay? Something could throw off the system. Oh, this dude just gave me some trash. He gave me some dirt. Back in the day, he was called some dirt. He gave me some dirt. That ain't real. Something's wrong with that dog. He fucked up my system. You know? That's a system. That's all it is, man. A sequence is a part of a system. It's a characteristic of a system, right? And sometimes a system can have two things going on at the same time. So it can have two things going on at the same time, right? Regardless, it's a system, and it gets predictable and repeatable results. Muhammad the One, you sound like the honeymooners over here. Wow, looks like rain out there. The backyard boogie. I don't know, man. It's just with the back when it's been years since we used to just call it dirt. Like, man, I got some dirt. Nah, fuck it, you got some dirt. It is what it is, man. Fannon, I got that science down. Yeah, I had that routine down to science. I'm very systematic. That's why I always got to break it. You got to break it. You got to change something in that system, and it points to a different outcome because the system's always in place. Even like when you're trying to give up smoking, you got that. Smoking is part of your day. It's a habit. It's part of your system for your day. You have to find something to replace that cigarette. What is it that will replace that cigarette? Right? And you should replace it, I think, the cigarette with something that over the long haul will not allow the system to be sustained because it doesn't give you something that cigarette did, right? You could chomp on a pencil, chew a pencil, something. You got to see it, but it's, you know what I mean? Anyway, man, it is what it is, man. I am over. Hey, man, much love to everybody in the super chat. I'm about to bounce out of here. I got some work I got to do. Hey, once again, man, plug for the Patreon. We basically had a Patreon conversation today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't think I said anything out of sorts that would get my video flagged or anything like that, but you never know. So, try not to. But I'll cut more to the chase on Patreon. I will cut much more to the chase on Patreon. And with that, I'm out. Peace.